Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and if you're wondering why I'm growing my hair and my beard out, it's so I don't look like a ghoulie. Because I have the body of a ghoulie. I'm the same size as a 1980s, the ghoulie. If you look up ghoulies, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Sorry, don't mean to derail.
Our big events are this Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
Beer Fest, Sofa and Suds. You guys know. We've been telling you for a while.
That was the one we needed, too.
What?
The one where we don't plug it, that was the one where somebody was like, don't they have a beer fest? And you're like, we've told you about it. Goodbye.
Well, you can look it up. Yeah, everybody's got a phone.
Yeah, you can definitely look it up. Weird job?
Yep, let's do it.
Shall we? Oh, no. Hold on. I can do this. No, we can do it. We can do it. There we go. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
With us today on the couch, we met this gentleman when he came in to promote the Orlando Science Center to the Extreme exhibit.
Yes.
Which
you can still go, you can go and check that out right now at osc.org.
But we got Zach Moldoff here from SKATEBUDs.com.
Hey!
It's a charity based on skateboarding, and we'll talk all about that. But when Zach was in, about a month ago, he started talking about growing up in Miami and cocaine cowboys.
Yeah. And you guys had Miami, you almost Miami bonding.
And
right?
then I was like, well, this is not the segment for this, but you got to come back in and tell us about this.
Yeah.
So,
well, he said one thing that piqued our curiosity was a family member that worked, right?
I mean, the witness protection program. But we'll get all to it. But first, let's talk about SKATEBUD.
Perfectly.
And SKATEBUDs.com.
SKATEBUD.com. No S.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All good. No, it's a common people do that.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
So there are many of you out there. It's SKATEBUD.
It feels natural.
Yeah,
to
it
put
does.
an S at the end.
Yeah, but that's what's
There's multiple friends.
You're gonna make friends.
There's
but
a lot
for
of
right
friends.
now, if you're just checking it out, it's just you, SKATEBUD. There you go. SKATEBUD.com.
It's like if if you make the mistake over and then people are just like, oh yeah, everybody knows, just change it to SKATEBUDs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
So you're saying, you're blaming Zach for making you wrong.
It's just like if someone just starts calling me Gary, I'm just like, that's my new name now. We're just gonna go. If everybody's
That's
like, you
one
look
way
like
to
a
look
Gary.
at it. That's one way to
Hello,
look
DMV. I need you to change it to Gary.
Yeah, Zach knows.
Sorry, SKATEBUD.com. So how'd you start SKATEBUD again?
So really, it's interesting that you bring up the name and the contrast of SKATEBUD versus SKATEBUDs. It started out with this idea for a guidebook for if you were new to skateboarding, what would the book look like that you would go and check out from the library and I think maybe this is I didn't realize Gen Z is not like this, right? Where I'm a millennial, and when I wanted to know about things growing up, I went to the library and checked out a book.
Me
when
too.
I was passionate about something, I was like, all right, let me go learn about it from books.
Oh no, it's all TikTok now.
Yeah, I don't.
The books.
I think
what
that's
the hell,
right. Like these book kids now, they're a minority that I'm marketing to. But anyways, like that, it started with this idea of, well, what would you need? And at the same time, I was running a marketing agency and magazine about skateboarding with my wife, and we were in LA. We were doing free events. We wound up, I would say, just developing reasonable rapport with, it was a council member's, one of their liaisons. It was to me, I didn't even understand anything about local government. I wasn't being like, let me meet someone in local government. I was like, hey, we're doing these events at the skate park. I want to make sure we're all good. And they were like, yeah, you're all good. And the parks director introduced me to someone in a council member's office because when they were doing an event the next year, they wanted to enhance it. And I was like, sure, we'll come out and give stuff away.
Well, you have an
like,
easy vibe. It doesn't make me, like, you seem like you're a likable person.
Oh, thanks.
So I like you. Like, hopefully I'm not putting it on too strong, but like when you came in, like my high-fiving you and I'd like to see you, I can imagine that the council people probably liked you. It's a positive, harmless, cool thing. Let's usher in some positivity.
And the government's interesting because when you first get into it and start looking around, you're like, wait a minute, this many people do this little things?
And they're all rich.
Like,
look at how rich they are.
Why does it take 17 people to run a tiny local park or whatever the hell? It's like, it's a lot.
Until you get in there and you're number 18, and then you're like, nobody better steal my golden goose.
Oh man, we don't need to get into the someone characterized it to me, they're like, everyone is protecting their rice bowl. And I was like, because I'm always
Asians, it's all about
like
the
I'm
Asians.
always trying to figure out government and asking, like, for people who've been doing work in this space longer than me, whether they're in skateboarding or not, I'm like, hey, can I just like talk to you and like ask your advice and learn what you know in some degree? And I think as a skateboarder, you're right. Coming in, it's easy. There's not a lot of social friction in those relationships. And then it led to, in the middle of the pandemic, the mayor's office reached out because that person who was at the council member's office was now in the mayor's office in a special department that was called GRYD, G-R-Y-D, Gang Reduction and Youth Development. So they were tasked with going out into basically what are characterized by many people as the scariest parts of LA, right? And it's funny because the way he told it to me was there's a very low rate of turnover in this office because no matter what goes on with the administration, when people come in, there's not a lot of people who are stepping up to want to take these jobs to go into these neighborhoods to say, I can build rapport with people on the ground there. And that had never.
They're like, I'm not going in there.
It's not that people
That's
like.
scary.
Well, it's difficult too, right?
And I think it's everyone has just a perception of like, and how easy is this related to other ways of getting money? And this doesn't seem like an easy way. And to me, it was just part of what was going on. And I learned a lot about what I was actually doing and how I was actually generating value, where it's, government is tasked with providing these services. And not only that, they want to be able to show that they've provided the services.
That's, in some ways, that's the most important part.
So, Zach,
part of it.
before we move forward, I kind of want to go in reverse a little bit and talk about your upbringing.
The style of our show and business. Before you go forward, you must go backward. It's a Tom Van
Fast backward.
You have to slam it in reverse.
Yeah. So, I mean, also not to just be like, hey, you got all this stuff wrong, because you got a lot of stuff right. And I love being here with you guys. But I'm also from Broward. I'm not from Miami.
Well, it's all the same.
No, he's going to do that. He's going to start doing that. And it's going to drive you crazy.
It's all South Florida. Anyway, I'm from there. I can talk. Yes.
No, you can say it. I can't say it, right? I can't say I'm from
I
Miami.
certainly can't, because I'm from DeLand. Like, I'm from a tiny hole in the wall.
Even further away.
Yeah, way far away.
So, Zach, let's talk about your upbringing, because you grew up rough.
It's a little curious,
And
I like curious over rough.
And it probably made you a tough person. So you first got arrested at the age of 8.
Yeah.
How does that happen? I can't even comprehend. My sons are.
You would love
10
if your
and
sons
11.
got arrested at 8. You'd be like, yes.
Yeah. Well, I think like the toughness, it didn't come until later, and there was a lot of scaredness up front, because as a kid, I was exposed to a lot of situations that are scary for adults, and then I certainly didn't feel like I was protected or I was safe. I felt like these adults who are supposed to be taking care of me could basically just like check out at any moment and like leave me susceptible to all these other adults that they're bringing around who are really scary.
So did you feel like did you immediately start going into like almost a survival?
I think that's, now that I'm a parent and I understand a lot more, that's how, yes, I grew up, just one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think I
plenty.
grew up in a way where I was adultified at a young age, and I understood, like, from a survival perspective, that I had to take care of myself. And
so similar, you Broward boys get a lot of hey, got to do this on my own. He did a lot of that too. You know?
I think that, you know, it's tough, right? Like to dance on this line of, I certainly don't blame my parents, like, right? Like, I'm not like, oh, like my life is hard,
Right.
and it's not my fault, and things should be easier, and it's because of my parents. But at the same time, like, I recognize, especially now as a parent, like, they defined the world that I lived in and the way that I saw the world and the way that I'm programmed. And so much of the complications that I've faced in life is a reflection of my dad was a criminal defense attorney who pissed off cops and pissed off dangerous people, and then also made friends with some of them, but was not one of them, but convinced the rest of the world that he was one of them. So he lived in this like weird anti-space between kind of two worlds. And then the cops who were pissed off at him found me one day with my black friend. And we had planned to try and steal a G.I. Joe at the Eckards. This was the first time my parents let me ride my bike out of the neighborhood, like to the local plaza.
I too planned to steal a G.I. Joe from Eckards, or it may have been Rose's at the time.
So just go back to your dad. So your dad was a criminal defense attorney.
Yeah.
So he knew a lot of criminals, but also
Well, he's in that world, but not one of them.
Named me after one of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my middle name, Granger, I'm named after a drug smuggler.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, as an adult, I can say it's awesome, but as a kid, that fucked me up so bad to be like, because he raised me and he's like, I knew this man, right? Like, I grew up knowing this man, and my dad was like, I wanted to, like, introduce adventure into your life, so I named you after him. It's like, what the fuck do you think as a kid when your father is being like, go be like that guy?
Well, I mean, drug smuggler is pretty awesome, though. I mean,
look,
as a
like,
kid.
yes, objectively, I can certainly take a step back, and like, there's a lot of things about my experience that
You're
I'm
blowing
grateful
the chat
for.
room away right now, by the way. I love to gauge reaction, and they're just like, you got him with 8 years old, but then the whole, this is wild. We're all off to the races, Tom.
So, I just want to go back to something you said, because it's interesting that your dad, like, a criminal defense attorney, so he knows and is friends with a lot of criminals because he's defending them against the law, which the local police
They
and
love
judges,
that, by the way. Criminals love it when you defend them.
Yeah. But all the police dislike your dad because he's defending this criminal, even though
Not all the cops. See,
Okay.
this was the thing, because my dad also defended the cops. When the cops get in trouble and the cops are under criminal charges,
Sometimes
right?
people forget cops get into trouble. And
Because-
you know what cops love when they get into trouble? You defending them. Just like the criminals.
And guess what happens? A year later, after I get arrested by these cops, right? A different set of cops come to protect us because Griselda Blanco is going to kill our whole family.
Okay, so
Oh, that ratcheted up fast.
So let's talk about this, because
Whoa.
your dad defended the assassin of the Dade County
The Dadeland Massacre.
Dadeland
Jorge
Massacre.
Ayala.
Yeah, okay.
Rivy.
So he
Whoa.
and how did he end up even
I think he
defending
was
him?
state appointed
Okay.
for
So-
that, because it becomes like, with a client like that or an accused like that, right? It's
Yes.
it's beyond like, hey, we're just gonna let you go out and hire whoever.
You've lost that right.
Well, I think the judge in that circumstance, it's like such a high-profile case that now there are all sorts of political pressures come into it, and a lot of my dad's work was already state-appointed, because when there would be certain cases like at a certain level of like first-degree murder, right? There's not a lot of public defenders that have that experience, and then here's my dad who has tried like that, whatever that maximum of the public defender.
It almost became his
And then-
specialty then.
Yeah.
So they,
I mean,
so they're always going to go to your dad.
But it's also about, knowing now as an adult in government, it's the relationship that he has with these judges where it's their courtroom and they're ultimately deciding. So it's like, if the judge feels that, hey, Hilly is going to be the best one to like not only represent this client, but also conduct all the business of getting this trial done, right?
Yes.
That could potentially blow up and become a huge political issue, then sure, that judge is going to choose Hilly.
And so Griselda Blanco was the Black Widow from Cocaine Cowboys that was the head of the drug cartel.
Known for killing kids,
yes,
right?
yeah,
Known
yeah.
for killing families. Like,
Crazy.
it's whatever, homie.
And why did she put a hit out on your family? Because your dad was defending the
assassin, and he's going to testify. Like, who knows what he's going to do? Who knows what kind of information starts to come out now? Who knows what he's told his lawyer?
Because even though that she sent the assassin, she wants that assassin dead in case he starts.
Well, now
flipping
that dude has killed more people for her than anybody else.
Yeah, so
right?
you don't want him saying, like, turning over and saying, "Hey, I'll testify against."
If
Griselda.
anyone can get her in trouble with the U.S. government, it's for sure that dude and like a short list of other people.
So okay,
and my dad is like, yeah, I'll go stand next to this fool for a check. Yeah,
It's a brave dad. It's a brave dad.
Yeah. So,
My dad would never do that. I'm going to throw that out there.
So
God bless him, but he'd never do that.
Now, how did he hear that there's a hit put out on his family, and did he tell you? How did you know?
Oh, I'm pretty sure she just told everybody.
Like, you put a note in your lunchbox, right? Like, so you're sitting at recess, you open your lunchbox, and inside's a note from dear.
I mean, to be honest, that would have been better than how my parents handled it. It's like classic boomerism of like, this isn't even happening.
Oh, they
like they were like, my dad was like, there was a bomb threat at the courthouse, so now these cops are gonna follow us around for a while to make sure we're safe. And it
so
was like,
downplay. You would have done this. This is the Tom Van downplay.
I'm 9.
Tough as hell.
I'm 9, mind you. Like, I'm 9 in a house where I've grown up from the whole time. I'm taking care of myself. I don't trust that you're taking care of me because you've done shit to me that I don't have to talk about right now.
Right.
From the time I was a baby, as long as I can remember. That's like that. It's just that it's. A parent can't do that to their child. Like,
so you've basically raised yourself. Now you're in this family,
and now your dad's telling you something, and you know
I
it's wrong.
Right.
You're like,
it's not the truth.
You're like, you're listening to your dad tell you about a bomb thing in the concert, and you're like, it's more than that. I know it. I'm a 9-year-old genius.
Right.
I know it.
Is your mom around?
Yeah.
Oh, good job, Tom. What are you doing?
You know,
other people were thinking it.
You know, it's
because
like,
the moms are usually like, "What the hell are you going on here?"
I'm not
At least
like,
the 2025 in the 90s are a little different.
There's a lot of positives that my mom brought to my life, but I think ultimately, when it comes to the relationship she had with my dad and who she was as a mother, she was like an enabler. You know, like she was just like, all right, like, you know, it's like they have this twisted circle where they abuse each other, right? And then like she's the one that gives him a pass ultimately to go do all this stuff.
It's like codependent on each other.
Yeah.
Like it's like two alcoholics
like
together.
the most unhealthy machine.
I got a nice purse. I got this expensive car. I got all the clothes.
Keep it on the
big
track.
House, you know, so like
there's a lot of keep it on the tracks in the
takes.
world. Yeah.
You know what's interesting, Zach, is that people never look at the family that's well off, that is internally just a mess, and the kid struggling and stuff.
There's a lot of those.
Poverty causes it, and like the well-off people, they've got enough money to take care of it.
I think I see it more with my friends that are uber wealthy. I see a lot more dysfunction there. Some of my friends that don't even have a pot to piss in are just good folks.
It creates a whole other level.
Every
because
human
it's
is
secrecy,
different.
right? It's like it's hiding. It's who you really are. Don't let anyone know.
Yeah.
Don't let people know who you really are, because if they find out, you could lose everything.
Yeah.
Right? Like that.
Twice, because you're living a secret one on the side. You know what I mean? Like you could lose everything twice.
So how do you get through this, Zach, where you're a kid growing up in such turmoil and fear? You're scared all the time. Your parents aren't there for you. How do you? And then obviously you have run-ins with the police and the law, because of course you're now you're out in the streets. You're doing dumb things that a kid does. Then how do you pull yourself out of that? What's the flip?
I was fortunate, right, that there was, before I found skateboarding, there was 2 things that I really had going for me, right? I had my dad's mom would come and pick me up once a week and take me to go to the library. And
You had a library grandma. That's important.
she would take me to the I'm gonna start crying.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's good. Oh my God.
Shout out to the library grandmas out there that you see your kid, you're like, oh, my kid's screwing it up, and then I like it. Something the grandma steps in and like,
Good.
I'll raise them. I'll do
God
something.
bless her
do
face.
something.
Kiss her face.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Your kids are screwing it
Yeah,
up.
my mom is a librarian too, so I spent a lot of time in the library, man.
yeah.
And
And
you're
then-
in a good spot here.
It's
Let it go,
like-
man.
Just that little effort of taking young Zach to the library.
Look how much I meant.
Yeah. My God.
Literally lighten him up.
You know how much money I spend loading?
I needed that. You're giving me good feelings, Dan. That's a good memory.
She would take me to the library and take me to IHOP.
Hell yeah, dude.
And-
Breakfast
and-
library grandma rules.
She wasn't getting money like that, so she would buy me pancakes and she wouldn't eat anything. And she would just sit there.
Because she didn't have
big
the money,
deal,
so
man.
she'd buy her grandson pancakes at IHOP, take you to the library.
And it means more than anything in the
her
world.
son's blowing it. He's rich, by the way, defending the Dadeland assassin.
Right. You know, like
What's his defense on that, by the way? Everybody saw it. He's shooting
Yeah,
people
what
down
is
with a machine gun.
right. No,
funny
it's
question.
and whatever. The whole story of that, it's just like all that whole case blows up into this whole political nonsense.
Yeah,
Anyways,
That's what
I had-
kind of changed everything down in Miami, because everybody was like, keep it under wraps what's happening because everybody's getting paid. And when that happened,
The bubble burst.
then
yeah.
because that made national news, everybody watched Cocaine Cowboys. When that made national news, like, hey, you gotta the president's got to go down and see what's going on in Miami. It's crazy. There's and,
out of control.
I mean, that's seriously what happened. And then all of a sudden, the federal government got involved
And shut it all down.
And they're like, what's happening? It was like
Too much.
There's so much drug money coming through. Everybody's getting paid. Everybody's corrupt.
Yeah, and I'm glad
it's
we
a
went
different
back.
country
I'm
down
glad
there.
we went back to corruption and murder because the chat room apparently everybody started thinking about their grandma at one time, and we all had a moment. So shout out to grandmas and how important they can be. So just to get back on track, so grandma's taking you, and I'm guessing feeding that knowledge because you had this library. The library comes up a lot with you, and I'm a library guy, so I'd like to hear that from you. Having a endless room of nothing but everything you could
Books.
think of,
and just also that like I felt safe with her, right? And felt permission to be myself and not because it was also like I
what
don't
a
want
relief it must have been to go into her care for. I mean, like, because you have to.
Right.
I'm imagining little 9-year-old you and this switch, this protection switch you have,
It
and you're
turned-
dealing with.
right.
And I'm almost cursing, but you're dealing with all this crap, and then you get into grandma's care, and you're just like, I can
Right,
click up
I can
that
be a
safe.
kid,
I can be
right?
safe for a second. Yeah, my
and
God,
you
man.
know, I don't want to vilify my parents. I
No.
understand that like they're dealing with whatever they're dealing with, and they were doing their best. But the reality is that it was like it had a lot of negative impacts on myself and my sisters.
sure.
But I was fortunate to have my grandma and also on my mom's side, 2 grandparents that really like they provided me at least some kind of family stability to understand that. And then in school, I recognized that if I did well, the teachers would show me like love. So I was like, bro, I'll kill this shit.
Yeah, because that's all you wanted as a kid. Young Zach just
You're
wanted
like,
to be
I
loved.
can do this. I'm
Right.
in an environment where
I
I can
can-
execute this.
Like there's a task. If I fulfill the task, I will get love. Versus at home, it's like, do the task. All right, I did the task. Is it good? Oh, you fucking piece of shit. It's like, oh, come on. Like, you know?
So Zach, going back, and by the way, we are on the radio, so we have to bleep it
Oh,
out.
sorry.
That's
You're
all right.
good. You're
I
good.
just-
I got
sorry.
you. I'm
trying
taking
to
care
save
of you, man.
Daniel's
You're
work.
good. You're good.
But so back to your dad for a second, because I mean, you're painting the picture of a character out of a movie. And did he have these criminals over the house after, say you get them off,
question.
or they get out of jail, they come for a visit, and there's could be killer or drug smugglers there, and then was there ever parties where all of a sudden you go downstairs and then there's people, guns, and
There was all-
it's
like,
bare-breasted women. Yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff going on that, that's where, as a kid, it was more difficult to really understand, right, and have a clear picture. But what I know for sure is I have clear memories of being down in the Keys at that dude Granger's house, right? And, my dad officiated his wedding. And I remember being in middle school, going to, New Jersey or somewhere in New York. Like part of the trip was being in New York and having Thanksgiving dinner at some mafia guy's house.
Hey,
right?
it's Uncle Sal! Hey! Try to talk is too bad! How you doing?
That's the other half of it. It's like
Zach.
it was.
And the Keys, that's where they'd bring in the kilos and drugs through the Everglades.
Planes. They use the planes to get it from South or Central America into Florida.
Into the flats.
And then, okay, you want to hear a crazy story?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Hear a
so
really
far,
crazy
all of your
story?
stories have been top 10.
Well, this
like,
one's not mine.
You are
so this
lighting
one,
up the chat room, man.
So
They
here-
love you.
Let's pour some jet fuel that like I don't even own on this.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So the guy that I'm named after, they would have the semi truck full of drugs.
Yeah.
Right? They would have 2 cars in front and 2 cars behind, but not drive, like spaced out. If anything started happening, one of the cars would crash into the cop car, and then they would take off. And so this was a legit tactic. So at one point, they had to do that, and they got away, and they went to some stash farm. They buried the whole truck, then came back years later and dug it up.
Really?
Whoa, they did I've seen the truck
shit
burial
you see
thing.
in movies.
Yeah, it's
like that.
in movies. Where they dig the whole thing and it takes them all night or whatever, multiple guys.
It's
and
probably prearranged where they're like, okay, you can go to
bulldozer
this
there.
farm and they have the equipment, and then if you're here, you can go to
That's
That-
in,
when you're a professional and you're like, okay, I need to move a huge quantity of drugs from South Florida to New York or to some other place,
They
right?
use Central Florida as a hub too, and that's what sometimes they land planes and because they were doing it in Lakeland and
All
stuff.
of it.
Yeah, there was a lot of basically property up here that they would hide semi trucks, like you said, and that was all part of the cocaine.
and then they started getting the infrastructure of they'd have shipyards, so then they'd have boats, and then they'd have planes and airports, and then they'd have welders that would rearrange and change the cars.
All kinds of stuff. I don't know. At some point, I definitely stopped having interest in asking these stories.
Gotcha.
Right? And most of what I remember is from when I was a kid. And it would just be I'm 10 or 11 or 12.
Yeah, yeah.
And my dad is telling me this shit, maybe up through when I'm 18, and then it just became kind of okay.
yeah, you're numb to it at some point, right?
But also at that point, I started taking risks selling cannabis myself and, putting myself in a position where even though skateboarding had shown me better, I was continuing to make choices that were setting me on a path for reckonings that I was not ready for.
Well, I mean, especially when you're young, Zach, and your middle name's Granger, named after a drug smuggler.
Yeah. You haven't really been set up for success by by anything.
You're like,
No.
well, I'll be a
Grandma
drug smuggler.
tried. Grandma's
Right.
doing her part, but you can only do so much. So many other influences and things happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you're young, and then especially right when you're 17, 18, 19, and you're fearless, you're not afraid of anything, and then
You don't know better.
You don't know better, and you're like, hey, I want to.
It's the ignorance, I feel more than anything, the not knowing.
Yeah.
Well, and just imagine how emblazoned you would feel if you had been trained from a child to understand, oh, this is why people get caught.
Yeah, you know the inside.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
your dad will get you off.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
there's some cockiness there too, right? I'm sure.
Well, it's a power trip.
Yeah.
He wants that control. He wants me to get arrested so that he can be my attorney and he can have the power over.
Interesting.
God.
And he
me.
was, and let's just say this: he was really good at what he did, right?
Yeah, I mean,
How
he's-
many duffel
yeah,
bags
he was the guy.
of straight cash did your dad get delivered to him? Because these guys, I mean, everybody's seen Cocaine Cowboys. They would weigh the cash instead of count it because it take too long
Yeah,
to
you can't. I don't have time to count this.
And then some of the cocaine, they'd bury it and stuff, and they'd have millions of dollars buried in just cash, and they would have problems with the roaches and bugs eating the cash. That was their problem. They couldn't put it anywhere.
What a
So
problem
they
to
pay
have.
everything with cash. So your dad's definitely, here's a duffel bag of cash, and then your dad gets, he's spreads it around.
Who could tell you? I honestly I have no idea.
Yeah,
because by the time I was old enough to have been able to understand that level
Sure.
of stuff, it was done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
It's when I was a kid, I wouldn't that's the thing is I don't even begin to start to think back and analyze and wonder because it's I'm thankful that I've gone to enough therapy that I can say, even though the past happened and even though it makes it harder for me every day of my life, I can move forward without it, like without having some allegiance to it, right? Like I don't have to make sure that I'm doing extra good so that someone's not going to come and ask my dad a question, right? Like 10 years ago, I never would have had this conversation publicly because it would have made my dad look bad.
Right.
Even though it's like, well, yeah, when you work in skateboarding and you wonder maybe, or like you work in government and you've seen me when I get backed into a corner and I have to problem solve my way out of something, why I go from somebody who's like friendly and easygoing to like, this guy has like a fucking sword on him, right? And like, he's willing to just cut people in half. Like, that's not nice. Like, yeah, I'm not nice. You know, like when I have to be not nice.
Well, you got that Granger in you.
Exactly. Right? Like,
and you're traumatized to hell.
Yeah, I mean, you can go there if need be, and you've done a lot of work to not go there. But if we need to go there, let's go there.
Right? Like, who wants to deal with that?
Sure.
You know, it's messed up. I remember going to the first Batman movie of the trilogy with that actor I really like.
Christian Bale?
Yeah.
The new one. Yeah, well, the one good one.
The
Dark
one
Knight,
the one that counts.
Dark Knight.
Yeah, the one that does count.
You know, and it's like Bruce Wayne, and he goes into that seedy club with the gun, and he's like, oh, Falcone, I'm going to kill you. And he's like, you're afraid of me because you're not from my world. You'll never be from my world. I went and saw that movie with my dad. I was that kid, right? Like I had seen that world so up close, right? It didn't kill my parents, but it took my parents from me. I didn't have parents because my parents were so wrapped up in this crime world that everyone around them was not part of, that they were not really a part of, but they had to stand so freaking close to it.
Yeah, they're right there. They're on the edge of it.
So close.
Well, they got the time.
Right?
I mean, if you're just playing the game, the 9-year-old kid or 8-year-old that got arrested didn't get their time.
Right?
The other thing got their time.
Exactly.
So I'm with you.
You know, like I had to come to terms with all of that, and I had to be able to own all of that and say, when you scare me, if you get me scared, where am I going to go to when I react? It's someone coming into my home with a gun, you know, and pointing that gun at me because they don't like what my dad did.
Could you imagine being a kid and knowing that at the time the most scary drug dealer in the world put a hit out on your family?
No.
Well, you know how anxiety. I'm an anxiety guy, right? Like, how do you think I'd handle that?
Your dad's like, nah, we're fine.
Yeah.
It does sound awfully Tom Van, though. That is what you would say. You'd be like,
I mean, I couldn't even imagine as a dad like putting my family in jeopardy like that and not being worried about it. Like, I mean, like I don't have that much anxiety, but I'd be anxiety riddled crazy because like these people can kill me and my family, and they don't care.
And you said something.
Like this is not no
and
joke.
having cops there makes you more safe, not safe.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Right.
Like,
they'll kill the cops. You know, like now we're talking about crazy, hardened drug dealer, mafia, cartel.
Someone with all the means to anything.
They're using bombs and stuff. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, the tactics were just off the chart. But let's get to the turn because there had to be a grand turn here.
And then now that you're involved in this skateboard charity, I'm sure you see a lot of kids like yourself, a young Zach, where like their parents are absent and they're turned to skateboarding and we talked about this on the segment when we last had you. Like I love skateboarding so much because it teaches you so much discipline. It teaches you to stick with something until you hit a goal. It gets you outside off the screen. So like
it's team and individual, which is weird. You know, it's kind of got that golf thing going where you can go with buddies, but if you want to go it alone, you can. Which I dig. You can dial it in for mood. You know, if you're in a bad mood, go skate by yourself. If you're in a good mood, go skate with your friends.
We became a society where now we're like anything but the screen. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what it is. It used to matter what it is. No. Like I don't want my kids skate.
You can just sit stare at the wall. I don't care, but no screen.
If you're outside with friends working on something, like that's the most I could ever ask for.
And I think that's been a big turn for us where when we were in LA, it was intervention, right? That was straight up like, yo, you're in a situation where maybe you're not in a gang, but you know people in gangs, and on your list of choices is gangs.
Right?
Yeah. Like
that's an option.
And here, that's not so much the issue, right? And I feel like it was good to be able to take a step back and maybe also not good to see that you don't even have to be from a home where your parents are living as reckless as my parents were to be a kid exposed to very similar circumstances.
Yeah.
Because what happens now is if your parents haven't successfully fought against the internet and all the influence that's there, then you're pulled into that same world, right? Of ultimately you start to feel destabilized, you start to feel unsafe, you start to feel that your parents' influence is not enough to protect you, and you need to find information elsewhere as to how to protect yourself, stabilize yourself, be safe, have control over your identity.
You feel alone.
Right?
Right? I mean, like, yeah, you're isolated.
And the internet, it doesn't teach that well, or rather the part of the internet that everyone's accessing through social media, right? Like, because if we were to use the internet in a different way, it would be great, but we're not there right now. And,
yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. Yeah.
And skateboarding, I feel like it balances out this equation because so many kids, they want to get the trick to have the clip, to share the clip. And it's like, whatever, if that's what's going to get you kind of like within my reach, so be it, right? Like if that's what's going to bring you to skateboarding, great. But also it really works for the kid who's there because it means something to them, right? It just serves as such a good container for all the kids wherever they're at, or, you know, like, and when I say kids, I mean like 5 to 24.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Because
It's a big
young
range.
people.
Yeah.
Your frontal lobe is not done until you're 24. You're not ready to make those decisions as an adult. You're not ready to be an adult and take a step back and strategize in the ways that we expect adults to and weigh consequences. So we need to be prepared as a society to continue to support people in those developing circumstances. And that's what SkateBud is about, is saying the standards of skateboard culture, it's already doing that. That's what it does, at least in the times when we came through it and when it was defined. So we're working to say, okay, if you're going to have a skate park, then how do you make sure that it's going to produce those results that we're talking about? Or if you don't have a skate park, how can we build a skate spot that will come and bring to your neighborhood that you can move in and out of your garage and kids can come and gather and we can have a pro skater to come here and hang out with your kids on a regular basis.
Okay. Well, I like the sound of that.
Now, Zach, what happened to you was pretty extreme, but I'm raising my kids too soft. They have it too good.
They need a little gangland in their life, right?
And
they need a touch.
I just thought of something. I need a criminal to come over to the house and pretend to be friends with me just so my kids see it. And they're like, what the hell is that guy?
Well, all your handyman did, he has a network of these fentanyl handymans. Like, he's got 25
they dried up. They dried up 10 years ago. When DeSantis took the pain pills. Anyway, if you're a criminal out there, email me. You can just come over for dinner one night. Say some scary stuff in front of my kids.
Ask for gabagool. Ask for the gabagool.
Just a little bit. I just need a little bit of what Zach's got.
And then you guys will go in the backyard and talk silently, like whisper a little bit by the gas grill.
Zach is, you can put him in any situation. You can put him on Skid Row and just take all his belongings. He'll survive.
But I think
no one's taking all my belongings anymore.
Zach will kill you.
He'll get you. He's very calm, but like I feel like therapy has made you externally calm, but inside there.
Oh, he'll fast stab you.
Oh, you could get him.
He's seen it all. I need my son's a little bit of what that is. Anyway, so Zach, what through SkateBud, how have you seen kids turned around similar to what you've done?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I haven't seen kids totally turned around because I think for me, it's taken me a lifetime.
Yeah. You're not going to see it in years.
I think my goal is more so to just be meeting kids where they're at. And I think I didn't really fully grasp where they were at until, where are we at? We're in November. Yeah, it was earlier this year. We were doing a year-long program in Miami that wrapped up in September this year, started October last year. And I think it was probably March or April. I was talking to someone at the agency that funded it, the Children's Trust. His name's Kevin Pereira. He was my point of contact that I interface with. Shout out Kevin. He gave me so much good advice and guidance, and I came into it super insecure, right? Still that criminal of you're going to look at me and be like, I don't belong here, and at every point where it was something would happen where like, okay, this is just like a bump in the road that has to be fixed. In the beginning, I was like, all right, that's it. They're looking at me and they're like, this program's crap. It's fake. Like, you can't trust it. These skaters. And, you know,
you almost didn't believe yourself, man. Like some
I totally didn't
syndrome.
believe myself, right? Because that's how I was
You're
raised.
Conditioned,
right? Like, I was programmed to be like, you're not who you think you are. You're who I say you are. See, because you keep winding up in trouble. Like, you're a POS.
This is a lifelong
You're going to be a bum,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So
is this guy hard or is he a comedy writer in SNL?
So Kevin, you know, he walks me through it and we're having this conversation. And I was like, look, man, I came into here with all this structure and organization that we had from programming we were doing in LA. And it's too much. Like, it's too big of an ask for these kids. Like, I can't be like, oh, you're into skating and you're into photography. Let me help you cultivate those skills. Or like, you like drawing. Let me help you turn that into graphic design. And by the end of this, we're going to maybe pay you to do some graphic design. Like, these kids are at a way earlier level. And through that conversation, it was communication, organization, dissuasion, encouragement, code.
Yeah.
Right. This is what came out of it
like
was that these kids just need opportunities to be in a circumstance where there is a productive mentor, someone who knows more than them about skateboarding, like straight up. It just like that. It's an easy relationship where it's established and accepted from both ends. And then you just create situations where they can mess up and get feedback, where they get held to standards, where they have to communicate, where they have to be organized, right? Where they're going to come and present you with ideas that you have to dissuade them from, where you're going to encourage them to do things that they're not already doing. And it's like, I think as a society, we're so task oriented that we want to come in and be like, we're going to build this and like program this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to go over there, and it's going to result in this. And it's like, we need to step back, you know, like we're not going to solve these very human problems with these app minded solutions. Right.
Yeah.
It was like, for me to take a step back from, I'm doing the business of running the nonprofit that is tasked with providing the youth development, and just go, well, ease up on that. Like, don't, you know, like, you don't have to walk these kids through the door of the exact experience. It's like what they need. These kids who have grown up just like, you know, they're slammed by the amount of information. I can't imagine how difficult it would be to figure out how you feel about something if you've already been exposed to so many ideas about everything.
And everything, and all those ideas are pointed enough to try and trick you or tell you how to feel about something.
Right. They make
So how do you
sense.
find your identity?
Oh, it's right. So that it's like, right, if I can't see the world around me, how do I know who I am in this world or how I feel about it? Right. It's so destabilizing. So it's just a safe environment where they can try out different stuff and be told, I don't know, like, that's cool. It's nice that you tried. I see the effort, but do you feel comfortable? You know, like,
so what you're providing is not even skateboard. It's stability.
Right?
You know?
Like what we got from skateboarding, right? Like when we were doing, and like, I didn't create all these tricks. I'm lucky enough to have gone to LA and befriended a lot of the people who are like, were in the videos that everyone else was watching to learn the stuff, right? That were making the magazines, or in the magazines that everyone was emulating as like, this is what it means to be this, right?
Yeah.
So I'm lucky enough to have seen that. I didn't make that stuff up, but our generation, right? What we brought into it and what it meant to be a part of it. I just see that as the most important part of what we have to offer as this generation. It's like, nobody needs to see my skateboarding. Like, that's not going to impress anyone. It's not going to thrill anyone and make someone pick up a skateboard, right? Like, unless it's maybe some dad out there that, that hasn't touched one in a while.
I would be very
right?
impressed if I saw you do anything.
But what the value that I really have to offer, like,
especially
what I can
fast
bring.
stabs.
Yeah. If you could kill somebody on a skateboard, like, prison stab them fast, you know. But no, we have to throw stupid jokes in there. I apologize.
So again, people can find your website, skatebud.com, and
go there, check it out.
And if anybody wants to help or donate or help you out, they can.
How can people help? Because it seems like our guys really like you and like what you're doing, and if you know, we have a lot of skaters.
I mean, just the basics. Even if your kid's not even passionate about skateboarding, just the basics of learning how to, pump a skateboard and ollie
Is
over
it called
1 year.
kick pumping? Is that what it's
Push.
kick
Just
pushing?
push.
Okay.
Kick turn.
Yeah.
Pump.
Yeah.
Well, you can pump. you
Hi,
can
I'm Tom
carve,
Van,
you
and
can
welcome to
kick
How to
turn.
Kick Pump. We're going to start doing a video, right? We'll do a video series. Tom Van's Kick Pumping.
But it's just that the basic discipline of just
Sticking to it, man.
sticking to it and learning something is not like that small amount of discipline will help any kid so much more than being on a screen.
You know, it's,
Like that the being on the screen.
Now
is what's
wait
killing
until
them.
I've thought about this. Now what do you think about that? We can end on this. What would you think about a skateboard deck, right? That is an iPad.
Oh, all right.
And we make it durable enough so you could use your toes to play games while you're
right,
skating.
while you're doing tricks.
You did it. You were
Yep.
doing my idea.
I knew where you were going. I
and
went
then
there
we
with
have
you.
see-through shoes where you can see your toes. Like, you're hammering all the buttons. You're
Making
playing
it
Roblox.
harder.
You're Robloxing while you're skating down the road.
Or
Yeah.
you just put on a VR and a virtual skateboard.
I've seen kids doing that. Oh, by the way, every day this week, there's been a cop in Main Street, 2 cop cars sitting there waiting on e-bikes. I told you they were coming for your e-bikes, you dumb kids, and you didn't listen to me. I told you all you had to do is wear a helmet and stop at stop signs. That's all you needed to do.
Hey.
That's it. If you'd have done that, they wouldn't be here. But now they're here, and Orange County is voting today on whether or not to ban e-bikes at school campuses. They're coming for your e-bikes, and all you had to do is wear a helmet and stop.
Yeah, but then you get to wheelie next to them and kick them. You kick this out of the cop car. That's real cool. Right, Zach?
Oh,
You
man.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. Confrontations with police.
Your dad would think
We're
it's
anti
cool.
that. We're very anti that.
If your dad-
Granger would think it's cool.
If your dad and Granger were here,
Yeah.
oh, they'd be
Yeah.
on my side.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, if folks want to support, the biggest thing that you could do right now is to donate. We're definitely in a squeeze after we lost some funding from the legislature that the governor vetoed. You know, we run this nonprofit. Like, when I can get programming and I get paid from the programming, some of the money pays me and some of the money goes to paying like the ongoing insurance, the website,
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
like business
it's a lot.
filing, all that stuff. We don't have any kind of like funding organization. So all that stuff helps just at the basic level. We do have some funding from the sheriff right now, and we're about to go out and give away probably 75 skateboards over the
Nice.
holiday season.
Awesome.
We're going to give away 5 skate spots out in Pine Hills, like just drop them off at people's houses, not randomly, right? It's like
Yeah.
through work that we're doing, finding people that want to take these and say, hey, yeah, people can come over and skate at our house, because it's been difficult to deliver programming in other places. We've got a skate club starting up with College Park Middle. You know, we're really working to lay the groundwork so
That's
that
awesome.
skateboarding is part of this community in a much larger way, and it can start to reach people without people going to the skate park, right? We want the skate park to be a place for great programming and great experiences to take place.
But not the only place.
Absolutely. It
Yeah.
has to be in people's neighborhoods.
Sure.
Skateboarding works when it's outside your door, when it's in the business district where your parents want to go to and you have nothing to do as
Easy.
a kid, right?
You want it
Yeah.
easy.
It's at
Right,
the
it's-
cul-de-sac at the end of your neighborhood.
You would be
here.
the perfect guy.
Yeah.
Dude, if your boys are into skating, I could see you dragging all the ramps out.
No,
You're the guy.
I drag 'em out every day.
He would be the guy, because he's like, isn't that your dream? His dream is to be the house where they're like, remember, guys, 3 p.m., 6 skate sesh. Dad's
Yeah.
setting up all the
But
ramps. We're
I-
taking over the cul-de-sac. And he is
But
that
they need
guy.
to scare them with the criminals. Their lives too easy. They just want to be on iPads. They're not scared. You need to scare
The
them.
criminals would scare them outside to skate. That's
They've
what
never
you
been
need.
scared.
Well, that's
Could you
why
imagine
skating's
that?
so good. It gets you that good scare.
Every
It does.
day.
Yeah. Nature's high.
Every day they get love. They're never scared, hiding, or they're like,
Yeah.
they know dad's
Bone
gonna come
crusher.
home nice.
I ain't never scared. Miami.
Start falling down and spilling some blood out, and then they'll feel different.
Criminals. All right. Skatebud.com,
Yeah.
and we will see you tomorrow. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Jordan Foley's here. How you doing, Jordan?
Oh, my
I'm doing fantastic, gentlemen.
siren isn't working. I was trying to give you a woo. Yeah. Anyway, hey, good to see you,
Good to
man.
see you too.
It's been.
Thanks for having me
this is-
back.
This is the newly married.
Yeah.
No, congratulations.
Jordan.
Thank
Foley.
you. Thank you. I'm hitched.
The pictures looked beautiful.
It was
Bride
beautiful.
looked beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
You looked okay too.
A lot of tears. Thank
yeah,
you.
not
Thank
bad.
you.
Not
Thank
bad.
you.
He did what I wanted to do, but I don't have the stones to do it.
The hat?
The hat.
I got so I am now sponsored, or I am an influencer for
Yeah,
Two
say
Roads
it.
Hat Company. You get 15% off if you use the code Foley15 at tworoadshatco.com.
Yeah.
And you get yourself 15% off.
Straw
And so-
hats,
yeah,
caps,
so I was just
felt
like,
hats.
I was like, hey, like, you know, I'm getting married and I want to wear one of your hats, and
He
they
looked
worked
cool.
out a deal with me, and
He had
That was a good marketing.
It looked
Yeah.
cool though. Like
Yeah.
he and his bride had the like really styled like her dress had like black accents,
black,
right?
yeah,
and then
yeah,
he
it
had
had
like
black
was it a
accents.
gray hat,
it
like
was
a
white,
silver belly,
white.
or like
it was
oh,
ivory white.
Come on, man! It just looks so. Cool.
So real quick, Kyle Keller, who's really one of my best friends out of Gainesville, singer-songwriter, he is also a fossil hunter, and he collects, stones and arrowheads and shark teeth, and so he provided pieces to use for the bolo ties that all my groomsmen and I got to have. So I had this like awesome agate stone as a
badass.
bolo. Yeah.
I want a shark tooth bolo tie.
If there's anything you should wear as a Florida businessman,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is a
It's a shark tooth bolo tie.
Yeah, but I always lose it though, Jordan.
You know what I
You
mean?
gotta get one of those Megalodon. Like,
I want a big
massive-
shark's tooth here,
Yeah.
and then I want the two leather, I don't know what those are
Yeah.
called, straps. But
The
then at
leather
the
lace.
bottom, I want the bottom of them to be little anchors.
All right.
Right? Little
That'd be
metal.
cool.
like little-
What if you get hooked on something? You gotta be
Hey,
careful.
what if I get hooked?
What if I get
Come
hooked?
get hooked.
Do you know how much
thank you.
time I waste in my life looking for my cell phone? It's like
I do.
it
That's
must
my
be-
wife. My wife is literally losing her phone. She loses her
Yeah,
phone
you
every
drop
day.
your phone a lot like an old grandpa.
If I had a shark tooth bolo tie, I'd be like, "Where's my goddamn bolo?" I gotta
Literally,
get-
every night before we go to bed, Mariah goes, "Where's my phone?" Without fail.
Really?
Oh, every night.
There's
She's
missing.
gonna hate that I said that.
Yeah, I can edit it out. It's fine.
no,
You know, you're newly married. No sense in causing problems.
Hey, we're legally bound, baby.
There's two types of people in this world: the type of people that know where their phone's at all times,
yeah.
and the other people are just looking for it
Just
at all
doesn't
times.
care. Yeah, who cares?
I have mine in my pocket most of the time.
Yeah. And then when you put it down, it's always the same place on charge.
It's right
or-
here. I put
Yeah,
it on the
like,
little arm bar. And
Yeah.
stuff
I
like
put
that.
it down at different place at every single point of the day. I'm like, here, let me just put it on the edge of the couch. and then
it goes.
And then I'll walk and go to my truck, and then I'll be like, what the hell? I'm gonna be walking around, and then I have to go.
But it's right in front of you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I've been
like
there
a-
the
in
whole
like a
time.
weird spot.
Have you ever lost your phone while on your phone?
It was all
I've done that.
around.
I was on the phone with my dad years ago, and I was like, "Where the hell is it?" And he's like, "What?" And I went,
Yeah. You do it when you're leaving the house.
Nothing.
Oh,
My-
yeah.
You're
I
talking
got
to your
it.
old
I got it.
lady, and you're leaving the house. You got your keys in your wallet, and you're like, "Where the hell's my cell phone?" And you're like,
can't find
"Oh," and then you're like, "Oh, am I an R word?" And you look in the mirror. Quantum leap.
Yeah, quantum leap. You can say it if it's quantum leap.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
Jordan, let's
Yes.
talk about it. You got you're playing at Judson's
Got a lot
Live
of-
tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
Me
tickets
and
will
some
probably be
mediums
sold out.
Yeah, me and some other mediums will be there.
Awesome.
We were buying up tables. I was at when I saw you. We went to see oh my God,
Molly Tuttle.
Molly Tuttle
And
yeah.
Joshua Ray
and
Walker.
Joshua Ray Walker.
It was an
And
awesome show.
It was awesome, but at that show there were other BDMs that were at that show, and I
Yeah.
convinced them. I'm like, buy these tickets.
Get
come
these
on."
tickets now. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
thanks,
so
dude.
I have buddies to hang.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
we're bringing a gang to
Yeah.
Judson's to see you play.
Yeah.
and you have some special guests and
I
things.
do.
that
I do.
Yeah,
So
can you talk a little bit
yeah,
about that?
my wife Mariah will be joining me for a few songs.
How
She's
cool
a
is that?
wonderful singer as well.
They sing
and
together, dude.
We,
How cool is that?
we wrote a song together, a new song. So we'll be introducing that for the first time officially.
Tom and his wife, their dream is to write a song together. I would love to challenge you and your wife against Tom and his wife.
Sing off?
Sing a songwriting competition. No, in all honesty, there is nothing I can think of in this world like 180 opposite that you and your wife would ever do. This is why I wanted to bring it up. Then write a song together. You and Crystal Van write a song together, and then perform it in front of people live.
Competition, me versus Jordan, his wife, me and Crystal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So Plaza Live, if you're listening.
Yeah.
I'm going
Let's
German
make this
techno.
Well, how? I mean,
a
like,
little too hot.
is she a singer? Like, I mean, I'm guessing she's a performer. Obviously,
Yes.
I don't think I
So-
ever asked you.
No, yeah.
Is that something she does? Is that something you guys
She-
want to do together? or-
Yes and yes. So Mariah is actually a part of the Victorian horror troupe, goth troupe Phantasmagoria.
Oh.
And she sings for them.
did
and
not know that.
Yeah, so she's their singer. And she did not, because of the wedding and everything, Mariah didn't get to do perform with them this season, but she's done like megacons with them, and
Yeah.
she's performed all over Florida with them and traveled with them. Mariah used to have a duo years ago here in Orlando. And what's funny is like, the scene is so tight knit. Everybody knows everybody. We didn't know each other. I didn't know her group. I didn't know anything. And so for her, and she's been in the industry, working in the entertainment industry. She's a talent buyer. So she's booking some big name shows.
Oh, wow.
Ironically enough, for Dr. Phillips Center.
There you go.
What's it like having something in common with your wife?
It's
This is why I brought this up. You can drink this.
let's get real deep.
Yeah, this next segment is called Tom Dreams of What Jordan Has.
I literally think to myself, if me and my wife never met and we met each other right now in our 40s, we couldn't even be friends.
Yeah.
we have nothing in common.
True. That's absolutely true.
Never
It'd be
be
like
friends
two
with
people
this
in an
crazy-
elevator. They treat each other like two strangers in an elevator.
Can't even small
man.
talk.
I'll tell you, it's awesome.
Oh, it's so great.
It's so
loving
great.
your wife.
I mean,
Well, I love my wife. I just have nothing in common
okay,
with
that's
her.
fair.
Loving my wife.
We're
That's
two
fair.
different people.
no,
You just love that different person more than anything, but you have nothing in common with it.
It's great.
It's like loving a stranger.
it's pretty sweet. It was the thing that made me slide into her DMs in the first place. She posted a video of herself singing a blues song with a coworker at the time. And
I always think
like,
women that sing
I was
or
like,
perform, it's
I was
sexy,
like, here's
yeah.
if I have one shot, one opportunity, here it is.
Do it, buddy.
And so
It must have worked
and
out.
we had known each other. Since 2019, but I was always too nervous and too intimidated to ever like reach out. And so finally, when I mustered up the courage to do it, it was because she posted a video of herself singing, and I was like, oh dang. I was like, and exactly like you're saying, like I think in my head, that's kind of the person I've always wanted to be with, is somebody, because I'm so passionate about my music and about music in general that I would love to be able to share that with somebody. And so hearing her and then getting to know her and realizing like how much we connect over it, it's been very, very, very awesome and very helpful and exciting. And she told me very early, like, hey, if you believe in yourself and you want to go for this, then like I'm gonna hitch my wagon to you, and like we're gonna go for it. So I think
that's the exact opposite of what your wife said. She doesn't believe in you at all, right?
Yeah.
Like, clear up. I'm getting foggy on the details.
Yeah.
But I think she says you're an old fool.
Well, yeah.
quote unquote.
And
Old fool?
I'm less of a hitcher and more of a on the top of the train rider. like those
Fall
kids
off at any moment and die.
like those kids in Mexico where you just get on top of the train and then you're going
more like a Mexican train kid.
You're like, oh, tunnel.
Yeah. You're more like a brave Mexican train kid, and Jordan is not.
So it's pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
and it's even cooler that like I have somebody to bounce my song ideas off of, and she shoots me straight. Like she's like, hey, like I wrote a very angsty song recently, and I played it for her, and she was like, yeah, like cool. Can you do something with it? And then like 2 days later, I went, all right.
I
spent 2 hours working on this.
I just realized something. You guys sang each other some love song at your wedding, didn't you?
No, we didn't.
Oh,
We did not.
Are you okay
if
now?
I had,
Walk me through what just happened.
because I could
Because
imagine.
you're gonna be like, are you those kind of guys? Like, are you those kind of people?
I love those kind of people. But you know why other people hate those kind of people? Because they can't do
They
it.
can't do it.
They hate
it's
us
not
'cause
self-deprecating
they
or
ain't
anything.
us. You know what I mean? They can't do it.
We had a karaoke night at our rehearsal dinner.
That's fine.
Okay,
And
that's
that was, we
fine.
sang as much as we possibly
just
could.
saying-
That's fun and light.
Every
Yeah,
once in a
exactly.
while, you're at a wedding and you're sitting there. You think it's the standard, and you're just like,
Yeah.
get
And
this
now
over.
performing Shania Twain and Ryan White from this moment.
and then the bride or groom now.
From this moment.
The bride pulls out his acoustic guitar.
Oh, he's gonna do Santa Rita.
Oh, I wasn't prepared for this. Here's Wonderwall.
He starts singing a love song. You're
Wow.
like, oh my God!
Look,
Then
I brought my guitar.
they bring the aunt up. And she's
We were asked.
Old lady singing.
We were asked by a handful of family members and friends, like, "Are you singing at your wedding?" We're like, "No, like I don't want to."
Yeah.
I'm not working.
Yeah,
We hired.
This is your job.
I want to celebrate this love I have
Yeah,
with this
exactly.
person I met.
I like it my way that I do a podcast.
Yeah. Are you gonna jump something? Jump the cake,
like-
you idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, oh,
We did have some really cool entertainment though. We had a street magician. during Mariah like had a buddy who was a street magician. We had Hannah Stokes perform
Okay, well, that's
at our cocktail hour.
Yeah, that's quality right there, man.
DJ Dizzle Funk
Dude, we love
threw
Dizzle.
down on at the reception. We had a blast.
Oh,
It
you
was awesome.
got a
Great.
cool as hell
Cool.
wedding.
It was a cool wedding.
Young
man.
people are doing it right.
We just hit up our friends. We were like, hey, we're we don't want to spend too much.
Yeah, I
They're
get
like,
it.
we got you.
I spent
No.
too much.
Very, very helpful.
I
No, we
spent-
still spent plenty. I'm not
Yeah.
denying that.
What about honeymoon? What'd you guys do?
So Mariah and I went to Eureka Springs, Arkansas, to the most haunted hotel in the country, known as the Crescent Hotel. It was very much haunted.
Tom doesn't believe in that. Yeah. He also,
Why'd you tell him? I'm gonna go
he
along
can
with
see it in
it.
your face.
I didn't do anything.
No, you know what you did? You said,
Why you gotta smell
you
all my
said it is
secrets?
most certainly haunted, and then he went. He did two
got dry
dry
mouth.
mouth grandpas. And when he gives you two dry mouth grandpas, he doesn't
right.
believe
He
in
doesn't
anything. you're
believe
saying.
it.
You might as well have just said like, I love the Bible.
Yeah.
No, it was.
It's
dude,
not
it
so
was
much I don't
spooky, man.
believe it, as it is not real.
All right, well, I'll tell you.
There's difference.
I'll tell you one thing that so it was pretty haunted place. Like it was pretty spooky place. Like it used to be owned
That's
by.
fair. Spooky. He'll take
It was
spooky because he
spooky.
can't really fight that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a
Can't
vibe.
fight
That's
it.
a feeling.
But like they were telling us things that like ghosts would do in the rooms, and apparently there would be. And like mind you, I got to give this quick preface that housekeeping would not come into the room. They would just leave a bin of towels and toilet paper and like whatever you need at the front door. They wouldn't come in. And so the tour
Yeah, I
guide
like
told
that.
us. The tour guide told us at one point. Some ghosts will stack your change. If you leave your change on the dresser, they'll stack it, like in order. And so I left 3 quarters out, and I kid you not, I cannot make this up. I have a photo to prove it. They left a diagonal line, completely perfect diagonal line of the quarters. One day, and I was already freaked out about it. I was like, nah, like that's not cool. And Mariah and I swore to each other that we weren't going to mess with each other. Because I would have been the one messing with her.
Yeah,
and
but
that's
women
not-
lie, I'll tell you that. We're going to throw that out there. I don't know about men.
Learn.
That's unconfirmed.
But wait,
If
so
I'm the owner of the hotel, I'm sending someone
I'm
in.
sending someone in to
Yeah,
screw
I'm
you.
sending a
Sneak in the
brave
letter.
Mexican train boy in there to stack the coins.
So the
Yeah,
next day, though, they were turned into a perfect triangle.
I like that.
Like, and I mean, like, perfect.
I mean, fake or not, do it. You know,
And-
like I'm in.
Yeah,
Like,
there
give
were
me
a
the-
handful of other things. We took a photo of a mirror from a distance, and there was like a dark black hooded figure in the.
Oh my
If
God.
I'm
photo.
a
Kanye
ghost,
West was in the photo.
Yeah,
He
it was
had
pretty messed
He
up.
had, his
So-
he had his black Klan uniform on.
if I'm a ghost, I'm doing more than just messing with your change. I'm
Yeah.
messing with your wiener, your wife's.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going through your wife's thing.
I am standing outside that shower, good sir.
I'm watching you.
Yeah, I don't know. The big one, he's but the little ghost is perverted. He's
I'm leading
Yeah,
in
man.
a ghost
It
turd
was-
in your suitcase.
Well, it was crazy, and the town was like on a different. It was a very interesting
fun?
town. Everybody was like on their own time.
okay.
We went up to a beer garden in town, and we were like, it was Monday, and we were like, hey, when are you open this week? He goes, I don't know. Like, I've been trying to get them to open on Thursdays, but we'll see. And it's like,
You can open it right now, dude.
open right now. I want a beer. Like,
You're
what
here.
are you doing? Yeah. So it was an interesting town.
I need to put out a word of advice to small towns and islands. Get to work. Because, I was in St. Augustine and my kids wanted ice cream, and we're standing at your door with the posted time when you're supposed to open. And it's like, oh, guess what? No one showed up.
No, we're
Get
not
to work,
open.
Well,
St.
normally,
Augustine.
I thought you weren't like me, so you're acting very Daniel right now.
What's
I
a
thought,
business?
I thought you were
Why
very
even
much like, hey, do it when you want to, man. We're all
Whoa.
just here having fun.
That was literally an art. The guy who ran an art exhibit said that. I was like, what time do you close? And he was like, I don't know. It depends on when somebody comes by and says, you want to hang out? And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, otherwise it's 5. otherwise 5 o'clock.
The fact that you are even a business implies that you like money. You need money. Just show up
It's
on
the Ozarks, man. It's another. It's
no.
another area. It's an interesting area.
They got good bacon in the Ozarks. I like
the
their
food
bacon.
was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of food do you eat in the
That's-
in Eureka?
We had this really cool steakhouse called Gaskin's Cabin Steakhouse, and the weird thing about that place was that as soon as we sat down, they started playing John Prine music, and then when we left, they stopped playing John Prine music. So I literally asked the server, I was like, you know, this is John Prine, right? And she was like, no. She's like, do you want us to change it? I was like, what? No, stop.
No, this is what I like.
Yeah, I was like, this is perfect.
This is my jam. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I've done
I was
tributes
very happy.
too.
But that wasn't the food. The food was amazing. The food was amazing. Yeah.
So the whole vibe there
The
is
vibe
kind
was awesome.
of spooky. Sometimes
Well,
I
and that's
feel
like Mariah's thing. Mariah's
Right.
really into it. She heard it from a podcast, Morbid.
Okay,
Morbid
yeah.
talked about it. They did a full episode on it, and we didn't have a honeymoon set yet. And Mariah texted me immediately. She's like, "We're going to the Crescent Hotel."
That's a good one. Yeah, I think
so
that's
highly
it's-
recommended. If you're into it, definitely go check it out.
We didn't do a honeymoon. We
Hmm.
waited a little bit, and then we ended up doing like an 8-day cruise or something. If I had it to do over again, I wouldn't have done the cruise. I would have done a destination somewhere. But it's all we had to do at the time.
We did old school, left the next day,
I like
the
that.
morning to Germany.
I like that.
I just
flew
heard
off.
I just heard a comment. It says the ghosts happen to be geometry teachers.
I don't know what that. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
I'm not even seeing what they're saying.
There is
This wouldn't be
something
currency.
Now it was stressful as hell, but something cool about just taking off and leaving the country.
Yeah.
The day after literally the morning,
day,
you're
yeah.
hungover
Couldn't
from
do
your
it.
own
Well, I was
wedding.
going to bring
Couldn't
that
do
up.
it.
You were so hungover that didn't you crap your pants in the German flight pod? Yeah. Not to embarrass him, but it works good for the show. It was a
just
squirt of oil out of his rear end.
oil. And I was like, God, this stinks.
Yeah, and the whole plane in
Oh
the
my
sleep
God.
pods, the Germans were like, "Was ist das? It smells like einer pooping." Yeah.
And I was blaming the Europeans. I'm like, God damn, Europeans,
man.
they don't use deodorant.
They must
We-
be playing soccer.
We waited a week to avoid that exact incident.
Give it
Jordan,
some space.
real
Give it some
quick,
time.
you're gonna be a kind of a resident at Little Indies coming up.
Yeah,
talk
so
about
I'm
that.
announcing it on Wednesday officially, but I will be doing a residency at Little Indies in December. 3 shows, Tuesday nights. Will Walker hooked me up. Such a nice guy. Shout out to Will and shout out to everybody over there. So I'm excited to be doing that. Judson's show, Judson's live tomorrow night at the Dr. Phillips Center is my only show of November.
There might be 1 or 2 tickets left if you want to join me.
Yeah, there's
but-
like limited view seats, and then there
Sell
are
it out.
ADA seats. So we're very close to selling out. So folks, if you haven't gotten your tickets
What
yet,
are ADA seats?
handicap seats.
Oh, I don't want
like
those people
handicap
there.
and assisted.
I don't want those people. I'm kidding. I'm messing around.
It's-
Messing around.
it's-
I joke.
It's easy to pretend to be that.
It is.
For me, it is.
We did that. We got ADA seats for Stevie Nicks. Mariah got them at one point. She's like, if they need us to move, we'll move.
Yeah. I like the cut of her jib. She
Most
knows
of
what
the
she's
time,
doing.
no one's sitting
She's
there.
a gamer. I like that. Yeah, most of the
She's
time
a
they're
seasoned
not.
vet, yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
she's right in that.
Yeah.
I believe she's right because I don't know her, but I just from looking at her, I could tell that if somebody
She's a
walks up
keeper.
to her and says, "Hey, you got to move," she'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry."
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
no big deal.
We bought these tickets. We didn't know.
Yeah, no big deal.
If no
No.
one's using them, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You're just they're right there in the front.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So then we got that. But yeah, man, 2026 is gonna be a pretty wild year because I'm gonna be hitting the ground running with touring now. I have a booking agent.
Wow.
In January, I'll be hitting the road with Spencer Thomas.
That was the one I wanted to ask
formerly,
you about.
formerly of Future Birds. He
Yeah.
used to be with Future Birds,
Big
so now he's
band.
gone on his own.
Big band.
And so I'll be hitting the road with him through Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, and back. I'm getting pitched for a handful of artists that not necessarily confirmed yet, but being considered for a handful of festivals. My agent Sterling, he was like, "Where do you want to play?" And I went Bonnaroo and Newport Folk Fest, and he was like, "All right." So he submitted me for both of them. So I mean, like,
Hey,
what are you
stranger
gonna-
things have happened.
Yeah,
right?
better to try than not try at all. And so, got a lot of really cool things in the works. I'm going to be going into the studio here to finally record some new music. I've been wanting to hit the ground running on that. And the band is still very much in play. The Wheelhouse, they're sticking around. We have two weddings this year. Our bassist is getting married in a couple weeks.
That's awesome.
And so we just haven't had a whole lot of time to focus on it. So
Family
we're gonna
gets in the
be-
way sometimes, but it's good
yeah,
stuff.
so
It's
we're
good
getting
stuff.
we're getting back at it. So yeah, looking forward to a very exciting year coming up. Thanks so much, guys, for having me and
yeah, no
let me
problem.
plug all
Always,
these things.
dude.
and-
We love and give everybody in the band some love from us, man. And
Yeah, we'll
anytime
do.
you got something to plug, come on
We'll
by,
do
man.
for sure.
JordanFoley.com.
JordanFoleyMusic.com.
Yes.
Very
Jordan
close.
Foley on Instagram, though.
All right.
Jordan Foley on Instagram. My friend, thank you so much for
Thank
being here,
you.
man.
Thanks for
I'll
having
see
me.
you tomorrow. And
Looking
anybody
forward to
else, get on the Dr. Phillips website, see if there are any seats. Just let's sell it out, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.